You've heard those politicians that say, I'm going to treat your money like my own. And then they turn around and write all these blank checks, which they don't ever tell you about. Coming up next.
Adrienne Southworth is running to be the 7th District's next state senator. Previously the Deputy Chief of Staff for Lieutenant Governor Janine Hampton and leader of the watchdog organization Take Back Kentucky, Adrienne's combination of experience and skill is known to unwind the labyrinth of state government for the benefit of many, not just the few. She is the proven problem solver we can trust to represent our views, listen to our needs, and despite the challenges we face, always find the best solutions.
Hello everybody, I'm Adrienne Southworth, running in the 7th District to be your next state senator. Today I've got my good friend Steve with me again. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you again, Adrienne. I appreciate it. Blank checks. I remember my dad gave me a check once to get my muffler fixed on my car, and he said, I'm not going to sign it. You sign it after the guy gives you the total amount because you don't want to sign a blank check. Now, you're telling me that there's blank checks written all the time.
That is correct. So here's the deal. Statutes we've talked about, that's what legislators pass when they pass bills.
Okay.
Well, one of the things that they put often in the statutes is, let's leave it to an agency to decide what to do about X, Y, or Z items. That could include anything from a little to the whole entire thing. And you don't even know what it's going to be, and you sure don't have any control over it. And so I call that a blank check. It's like, why in the world are we doing what we complain about Nancy Pelosi doing? Let's pass it, and then we'll find out what happened.
That's a great analogy. It makes no sense. But, you know, again, it's the structure that you're explaining, therein lies the problem. The structure of knowing that, because what I used to believe before our stint in government, but you even explained it better, what I always used to think is once legislation was passed, there was automatically something that would fund it or to automatically grab the funds or to keep it there or to keep it on track.
That it actually worked by itself?
Right. Like there was an accounting mechanism that would go along with it. And what I'm hearing, it's just not.
That's correct.
It's you call whoever it is, the deep state, the bureaucracy, whatever, that kind of just decides how we're going to afford this thing. And the legislators leave it up to them.
That's right. And so here's the deal. And it's not, we have part-time legislators in Kentucky, let's be honest. And I like that. I think that's awesome. They're from the people's roots. But why they do this is because there's no way that you could actually keep up with as much stuff as going on out there.
Right.
They aren't able to get their fingers into all the details to be able to lock it down. So that's why they write these blank checks.
Right. Makes sense.
It's a coping mechanism, but it's not necessarily a good way to do business.
Okay.
So what I suggest is let's get the language in that we need. Let's take the time to study the issue to make sure we don't have court problems later or you name it, right?
Right.
So let's get that done, lock it down, write it in the way that it really needs to be written in. We would have to have some understanding of how an agency would work in order to make that happen. Again, it's one of those things where you bring the outside perspective, mesh it with the inside knowledge base to make something happen that's actually best for the people instead of, right now, let's be honest, we have Democrat-headed administration, Republican-headed legislature. They're taking the Republican legislature is going to have to ask the Democrat administration for the information. How in the world are they going to sort that one out? Can you imagine? Hopefully not, but you know how it works.
Yeah, I've seen it I saw it in 2015. It's the exact situation except reverse. We had a Republican governor, and we had at least the House was Democrat. Yeah. And of course, there's not good communication at all. But when you start throwing parties affiliation in there, one more thing that I'll say on this, and you were talking about how we had to go and make a policy written. Your experience with the organizations that you were before, where you were a watchdog with the spending, and you basically confronted a lot of these legislators with it, you were able to do you were able to make them focus and do a lot more stuff because you were bringing that accountability to them. So again, it's your experience that I'm seeing that's coming back to say, here's how I will not only tell you what I'm doing and how I'm going to do it, but I have experience and I have examples to show how I'll do it. Is that what you're going to say? You're going to be educating some people. Really.
That's exactly right. I mean, I've been educating, whether it's legislators, people, or anything like that. One of the things I think everybody could attest to is last year, you remember, well, not last year, but the last year that we had this on the ballot was actually 2 ballots ago. Remember the victims' rights law on the ballot. And the question was something really super vague like, are you for victims' rights? Okay. Now, I knew this was a problem several years before this happened because I saw the bill that they were trying to pass that they didn't pass at first. The bill that was passed, the current victim language we already have in our current state law, they were trying to put, it's 2 pages worth of stuff. They were trying to put in under this one question, are you for victims' rights? I mean, it's totally unconstitutional. It's very clear if you want to pass something in the Constitution, you've got to clarify what the points are about it, right?
Exactly.
So I knew it was totally unconstitutional, and somehow, miraculously, they passed it anyway. And I love my senators. They say, well, I guess we had buyer's remorse on this one because then we have a court challenge, and then it's knocked down. I mean, the whole thing is this giant circus where you could have avoided all of it by not passing a blank check.
That's right.
So that's exactly what we need to do. Keep our eyes on the ball. Make sure what happens, happens, what we want to happen, and not be handing it off to other people and hope it happens.
Right. An ounce of prevention, pound of cure.
That's awesome.
That's
yes.
awesome.
That's exactly what we'll do.
Share this video with your friends in Anderson, Franklin, Gallatin, Owen, and Woodford counties. And please vote for Adrienne Southworth on May 19th.